Hello everyone, and welcome to this module in which we will be studying operations, arithmetic operations in Python. Now again the same procedure, please make a new notebook for this, and now let us try to understand what are the different types of operators. So operators over here which we will be studying are addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, floor function, similarly how to calculate the power of different arithmetic numericals like that, and so on and so forth. Okay, so for that we will be requiring two different variables. So we'll take some variables as our dummy variables. Let us define a as a value of, let us increase the size. So yeah, let us have this value of a as say 10. Let's run it. Let us have value of b as say 15. Again run it. And similarly let us have a variable c which is having a plus b, and run it, and then maybe let's try to print c. So yeah, output which we are getting is 25. This means a and b are getting added. This is this simple to add two different numbers in Python. Okay, similarly now let us take a variable d which is a float variable. So let us take 5.5 for that, and let us, to be sure that if it is defined as a float, check the data type of it, which is a float. Now after this let's do one thing. Let's add this a which is our integer, which we will check again if value of a is an integer or not. Let's add this. Let's define one more variable e, and in e let's add our a and d, which is an integer and a float. Let's run it. It ran smoothly. Let us just print what is the output of e, which is a 15.5. This means that it have added these integer and float, and in return you are getting an output as float. So unlike our version of Python 2, here we are getting output as 15.5. This means that int plus float you will be getting as float. And again if you will check type of it, you will surely be getting as a float value. So this is how simple arithmetic can be worked for taking sum of the two numbers. Similarly what you can do is you can take three numbers as well to add, or else if you want your Python to perform as a basic calculator, you can perform complex calculations as well, like 1234 plus 8853 plus 334, something of that sort, and add it. Yeah, your output is then and there, that is 10422. This is the sum of those three numbers. Okay, so this was simple addition operator in your Python, which is a plus. Similar to that, for subtraction or for taking out the differences between the numbers, we will be using minus symbol, that is a dash. So for example, you could simply do 100 minus say 99, you will get output as 1. Similarly you can like store this output in a different variable g and write d minus say a, and when you will run it, just let's print our value of g. So yeah, our d was having value of 10, and our a was having value of 10, d was having value of 5.5. when you subtracted 5.5 out of 10, over here you are getting output as minus 4.5. this means that you are taking a difference of the two numbers. So similarly for multiplication, what do you think we must be having a operator for multiplication? We don't have a cross over here, so yeah, obviously we have the same operator which we have in other languages, which is asterisk. Okay, so multiplying two numbers, as in say 15, I want to multiply 15 by 5, I'll simply write asterisk and I'll run it, I'll get 25. Similar to this, say I want to make a variable mult, and within that I want a product of say a and d, that is a integer and a float value. I can simply get that as well. And to check if you are getting the multiplication or the product or not, you can simply write print value of mult, which would be 55. So like that we have taken multiplication of say 5.5 into 10. This is how your multiplication can be done. So your three operators are clear: addition, subtraction, multiplication. Similarly, for division, we use backslash. So if you want, say, 10 divided by 5, you will simply write backslash 10 by 5. When you run it, you have output in the form of float, which is 2.0. So 10 by 5 is 2. Therefore, you are getting the output as 2.0. So this means that whatever output we take in the while we do the division, we get that in a float format. Now, similarly, let us just check if the output is in integer, what do we get? So 10 by 3, if we run it, we'll be getting 3.333. This means that yes, integer by integer, when you perform, you get your output in integer format. Now, so this were your simple basic arithmetic operators, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Similarly, on top of it, we have one more operator which is generally used in programming languages, which is called as a modulus operator. So for modulus, the symbol which is used is a percentage symbol, and what it does is it returns you the remainder. So like if I write 10 mod of, say, 2. Now is 10 divisible by 2? Yes, it's completely divisible, right? So your remainder would be 0 in this case. So when you'll run it, you'll get output as 0. Now is 10 divided by 3 completely divisible? No. What would be the output? Like 3 times 3 is 9. So that is the least number which could be divisible, right? So you'll get again the output as 1, because 1 would be the remainder when you divide 10 by 3. Similarly, you can perform it with any numbers, but for more clearing this concept, we'll just do one more example, 10 by 7. Now what is the number which is divisible by 10 and a factor of 7? That means if you divide 10 by 7, what would be the remainder? You will get a remainder of 3, right? So for that, this expression what we have written over here, you should get your output as 3. Now when we'll run it, yes, it is giving me output as 3. This means that it is working perfectly fine. Modulus operator returns you the remainder. Now similar to this, we now say if we want to take a floor, as in we are getting some kind of decimal value. We don't want that decimal value as an output, we want to take floor of it. So say for example, if we do, say, 10 divided by 3, we are getting output as 3.33. We, instead of 3.33, I want the only integer value over there. So for that, we can use this backslash 2 times. We will be getting it as a float value of that. So when you write 10 backslash 3, you get it as 3. It floats down your value to the nearest lowest integer. Lowest nearest integer, okay. So when again, if for say example, we write 15 and then divided by, say, 7, and you want floor of it. So when you run this, you will output desired output which you should have got was 15 by 7 was 2.14, right? But yeah, when you did floor of it, you will get the nearest lowest integer value. So this is how your floor function as well works. Now one more function which is important over here is our power function. Now for taking power, we use 2 times asterisk. So say for example, I want to calculate 5 to the power 2. So for that, I will write 5 double star 2. It will return me 25. Now say for example, I want 2 cube, that is 2 to the power 3. For that, I will write 2 star star or asterisk asterisk 3. This will return me 2 into 2 into 2, that is 8. So this is how basically all of your basic arithmetic operators work. So now we have, like, to summarize this, I'll be simply writing just the cheat code for you over here for addition. Similarly, plus would be used for addition. Similarly, minus would be used for subtraction. Then you have asterisk for your multiplication. Similarly, backslash would be used for your division. Oh my god, DIVISION, and as a floor function, and 2 times star would be used as a power function. And how can we forget our modulus operator, that is returns a remainder. So maybe we can just comment this section and have this as a reference in our notebook. Oh yeah, good. So this is how all of your operators work: plus, minus, multiplication, division, floor, mod, and power. Now one more concept which is important over here to understand is that you have your BODMAS rule, BODMAS, that is brackets of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. This rule holds true over here. So like if you perform a complex mathematical operation and you want to check which operator would perform first and what would be the priority order, this would be following the BODMAS rule. That means our brackets would be solved very first, and similarly after brackets we'll be solving our division, then multiplication, and then addition, and in the last subtraction. So for that let's have a very simple basic example for that. Let's think of it as we want to multiply 2 and add 10 plus 5, and let's just run this much. So in this, what would happen? It won't multiply 2 with 10 and then 2 with 5. It will add this up, like 10 plus 5 would be performed first, as addition comes first, bracket comes first, and then brackets would be solved. Then after that it would be multiplied. So you'll have 15 over here, and then it would be multiplied by 2. Therefore you are getting output as 30. So these are the very basic arithmetic operators which you can perform in Python. Slowly we'll be moving on towards more complex operations. So maybe now I guess you are in a very good condition to write program to calculate areas, perimeter, all of the different functions involving simple basic arithmetic operators. Thank you.